If you've ever driven alone at night and noticed a car behind you flash in its headlights, this story might change the way you interpret that moment forever. Because sometimes, the danger isn't behind you on the road. It's already inside your car. The legend known as the killer in the backseat has circulated across the United States for decades. It's told as a warning, a rumor, a friend of a friend story. But what makes it so powerful? Isn't just the twisted S. How disturbingly plausible it feels. Most versions begin with a woman driving home alone late at night. Maybe she's leaving work. Maybe she's returning from visiting family. The roads are quiet, almost empty. The kind of silence where your thoughts get louder than the engine. At some point, she notices a car behind her. At first, it seems normal, but then the driver starts flashing their headlights over and over. Sometimes they honk, sometimes they tail her closely, then fall back, then speed up again. Fear sets in. She assumes the worst, that she's being harassed, followed, stalked. Her pulse quickens. Her hands tighten around the steering wheel. She ignores the car and keeps driving, maybe even speeds up, desperate to get home. Eventually, she pulls into her driveway. The car behind her screeches to a stop. The driver jumps out and starts shouting. And that's when the truth comes out. The driver wasn't trying to scare her. They were trying to save her. Because every time the woman's headlights illuminated the inside of her car, the driver saw something rise up from the back seat. A man, crouched low, holding a weapon. Folklorists say the earliest versions of this story appeared in the 1960s and 70s, a time when America was becoming deeply aware of serial killers, home invasions, and random acts of violence. Cause once symbols of freedom were suddenly portrayed as traps. Enclosed spaces where help couldn't reach you in time. But over the years, something unsettling happened. Police departments began receiving real reports that sounded eerily similar. In one documented case from the southern United States, a woman reported strange behavior from another driver who followed her home, honking and flashing lights. She was furious and terrified until officers inspected her vehicle. They found muddy footprints on the back seat. In another case, a man was arrested after hiding in parked cars outside a shopping center, waiting for lone drivers to return. He told investigators he preferred the back seat because no one ever checks it. Criminal psychologists explain that humans are wired to scan what's in front of them: the road, the mirrors, the horizon. We assume what's behind us suspicious. In familiar spaces is safer. Predators know this. They exploit blind spots. What makes this legend especially disturbing is that the killer is rarely described attacking in the story. He waits, watches, inches closer. The fear doesn't come from violence, it comes from proximity. From realizing how close danger can be without you ever knowing. In many retellings, the man in the back seat only moves when the woman stops, when the car slows, when she's finally vulnerable. And in some versions, the warning comes too late. Experts in urban legend research believe this story endures because it taps into a universal fear, the idea that awareness is an illusion, that being careful doesn't always protect you, that the things you feel, like the stranger chasing you, might actually be the ones trying to help. There's another layer to this story that often goes unnoticed: the flashing headlights. For years, people were warned never to flash their headlights at another driver. Rumors spread that it was a gang initiation tactic, that responding could make you a target. Law enforcement later debunked those claims, but the fear remained. And fear, once planted, has consequences. Because if you believe every warning is a threat, you might ignore the one that matters. The most chilling versions of this legend don't end with relief or gratitude. They end quietly. The woman survives. The police take over. The night resumes its silence, but nothing ever feels the same again. Every time she gets into her car, she checks the back seat. Every time headlights flash behind her, her heart races. And every time she locks her doors, she wonders something far more unsettling than the legend itself. How many times did she drive like that before, when no one was there to warn her? Because the scariest thing about the killer in the back seat isn't that it could happen. It's that sometimes it already happened, and you only survived because someone else saw what you couldn't. Did you know if you hit the like button, the killer will never come your way and the scare of you? Also subscribe and hit the notification bell for that sound to bring you good luck always. See you next time. Bye.